pagbabaha at kontaminasyon ng pangisdaan, apektado ang local communities. In a 2025 report, Amnesty International reported that Ipilan Mining has been bribing locals to stifle opposition to the mining project. Kahit sa Surigao del Norte, umabot si Joseph C. Yung kanyang isa pang kumpanya, yung Platinum Group Metals Corporation, iniimbestigahan na ng MGB for siltation and pollution. Maging ang NBI, nire-rekomenda ng kasuhan ang mga opisyales nila dahil sa delikadong pagmimina. Unsafe mining practices, yan ang lumalabas na tatak Joseph C. This very Senate in the 19th Congress sought to ban the export of raw nickel. Ang gusto natin, siyempre, dito na ang mina, kaya dapat dito rin ang processing para dito mga Pilipino ang makinabang sa trabaho at kita. We want to add value to our domestic industries. Ganyan rin naman sa ibang bansa, lalo na sa mga kapitbahay natin sa Southeast Asia. Sadly, hindi ito ang lumabas sa final version ng batas. Truly, Mr. President, when an individual of questionable citizenship operates in this sector, we are effectively allowing foreign actors to strip our land of wealth while exploiting vulnerabilities and loopholes in our own system. Sa ganyang modus, talo ang Pilipino. Ang teritoryo at likas na yaman ng Pilipinas ay para sa Pilipino. Atin yan lahat. Kabuhayan at puhunan yan ng ating mga kababayan. Hindi yan dapat pinapakialaman, hindi dapat pinanghihimasukan, at hindi dapat kinukupitan ng mga dayuhang nagpapanggap na Pilipino. Kapag pinagsama-sama mo lahat-lahat na ebidensya, ang peking citizenship, ang fingerprint match sa Chinese identity, ang pagpasok sa Coast Guard Auxiliary, at yung kapito kong hawak pagdating sa industriya ng pagmimina. Napakalinaw naman para sa lahat. Ito ay tahasang pag-atake at paglapastangan sa ating pambansang interes at seguridad. Pinaglalaruan na tayo ni Mr. Joseph C., a.k.a. Chen Zhongzhen, a.k.a. Xi Zhenzong. Dapat may managot. Ngayon, kailangan natin itanong, who is responsible for the registration of birth of Joseph C.? Alam ko na ito ay isa na namang kaso ng delayed registration of birth, gaya nga ng kay Alice Guo. Sinong dapat managot? Ang local civil registrar ba? O ang Philippine Statistics Authority? Who granted him positions of trust within our maritime institutions? What is our criteria for granting membership in the Philippine Coast Guard Auxiliary? What protections are in place to ensure that foreign interests are not embedded in our extractive industries, which are meant to be under the heaviest guard by our government? Mr. President, I urge our Senate to investigate these links thoroughly. Let us review the processes by which citizenship claims are validated and awarded. Imbes na kita at hanap buhay ang ibinigay ng mga kumpanya ni Joseph C. sa ating mga kababayan ay mataas na baha, makapal na putik at malawakang pagkawasak sa kalikasan. Panahon na para isarado ang mga butas sa sistema para sa pamilyang Pilipino na araw-araw nagkakayod. Tama na ang palakasan, nakataya dito ang dignidad ng ating Republika. Mr. President, dear colleagues, hayaan niyong sabihin ko nang walang pag-aalinlangan. The Philippines is not for sale. Our flag is not for sale. Being a Filipino is not for sale. Marami pong salamat.
Thank you, Senator Rizon Tiveros, Majority Leader.
Yes, Mr. President, as stated a while ago by our Deputy Minority Leader, we will move to suspend consideration of her privileged speech and without prejudice to our colleagues asking questions, Mr. President. So with that, I move to suspend consideration of the privileged speech delivered by our Deputy Minority Leader, Senator Risa Hontiveros. So move, Mr. President.
Any objection? There being none, motion's approved.
Mr. President, I move that we resume consideration of the privileged speech delivered by our dear colleague, Senator Ping Lacson, and allow our colleagues, Mr. President, to ask questions, Mr. President, as committed last week, Mr. President. I move, Mr. President, that we recognize the distinguished minority leader and the Senator Ping Lacson, who delivered privileged speech regarding the evils of flood control programs, Mr. President. So move, Mr. President.
Senator Ping Lacson and the minority leader, Senator Tito Soto, are both recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Will the distinguished gentleman from Cavite yield to some questions regarding his privileged speech last week?
Certainly, to the distinguished minority leader, our minority leader, and I cannot let this opportunity pass without acknowledging the exemplary leadership recently displayed by our minority leader. Not many among our colleagues know that he gave way to all the members of the minority. No? Yung membership po ng Commission on Appointments, binigay niya kina Senators Legada, Subiri, and Risa Hontiveros. Hindi lang yun, pati yung set, binigay pa po din sa this humble representation. So that's the mark of a true leader, Mr. President. So thank you, distinguished minority leader.
Thank you, kind sir. I am humbled by the manifestation. Thank you. Just to refresh our colleagues also, Mr. President, if I may continue. You mentioned in your privileged speech some contractors and some of the owners. Now, Mr. President, may I go on? The Alpha and Omega Construction and the St. Timothy Constructions were included in the top 15 flood control contractor list from President Bongbong Marcos on during his press conference. And if I'm not mistaken, you also mentioned something to that effect in your privileged speech. Now, on the Securities and Exchange Commission papers, iba-iba po ang owners ng composition of the company. But in actuality, alam ng lahat na iisa lang ang may-ari nito. Same owner of the once blacklisted St. Gerard Construction. Now, they will deny this fact until they can. However, in one of the tax cases filed against them on 2022 before the Court of Tax Appeals, CTA case number 10472, to be exact, the same and one address lang ang ginagamit for St. Timothy, St. Matthew, St. Gerard, and Alpha and Omega Construction Corporations. Also, the majority stockholder of St. Timothy, who owns 85% of the company, named Miguel Juntura, was the marketing director of St. Gerard. The question, Mr. President, billions of government projects concentrated and monopolized by a few. Mr. President, paano nila itong nailulusot? Who monitors this kind of circumvention?
We have an agency, Mr. President. It is called the Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board, or PICAB, which is the implementing board of the CIAP, a construction industry authority of the Philippines. Incidentally, this authority is under the DTI. Pero it seems na medyo na haluan na rin yata ng konting, o hindi lang konti, nakatiwalian pagdating sa mga flood control projects, because information keep coming in sa aming opisina na itong PICAB nagre-resort na sa accreditation for sale. May mga ganyang reports, and I've talked to some contractors, private contractors, na they had this experience of being offered accreditation by PICAB, na sila na yung bahala sa bank certificate and other requirements, for a fee of, I think, 2 million pesos, for a start. So ganito na po kasama talaga yung kalakaran sa ating bureaucracy. And I think in the second hearing of the Blue Ribbon Committee, because I believe, as we have monitored, na during the first hearing, guest po ninyo yung resource person nyo yung PICAB. And there's some issues that they could not explain during the hearing. And I think we can take this up again with them, your observation in relation to St. Timothy and Alpha and Omega. Incidentally, Mr. President, Alpha Omega was mentioned by the Pride of Congress, who incidentally is the produced seed of our distinguished colleague, Senator Loren Legarda. Sabi ko nga, move over, Senator Legarda, there's a new kid on the block. And to her credit, she produced a seed named Leandro Legarda Lebiste. Nabanggit po niya itong Alpha Omega, na one of the 3 contractors na involved, na may resibo pa. Ang sabi niya, I heard his interview sa radio, TV, and he identified Alpha and Omega ba ito?
Yes.
Alpha and Omega Construction Corporation as one of the 3 bribe givers given through the district engineer of Batangas, First Engineering District, si Abelardo Calalo. And I think we should not stop at filing the information or filing the case with the prosecutor's office of Batangas. I think we should dig deeper into this case. Congressman Lebiste offered him to be a state witness, and I think the Department of Justice can pursue this, if only to identify and to catch the bigger fish. Kasi lumalabas ngayon, as I mentioned in my privilege speech, naging bagmen na lang, naging legmen yung mga district engineers. Sila na lang yung taga-takbo ng mga contractors, and who knows, maybe even the funders who are the sponsors or proponents of insertions in the GAA.
Well, thank you for that, Mr. President. May I know how the Philippine Contractors Board is formed? Ano ito? Paano nabubuo itong board na to? Who appoints the members? Who elect the members?
Let me look into that, Mr. President. But I think that's a good question to be raised in the second hearing of the Blue Ribbon Committee, led by our distinguished colleague, Senator Marcoleta. I-take note natin, Mr. President, so we can ask this question.
That's good. Thank you very much. Now, speaking of government officials, to determine the involvement of government officials or intertwined ownership with those who have been blacklisted or those who have tax evasion cases, do you think we should also try to dig deeper during the evaluation of project contractors, such as going into the layers of their ownership? Hindi po ba dapat ganun ang gawin?
Certainly, Mr. President, we should look into that. Yung interlocking directorship ang tawag doon, na kung saan nile-layer, pero pag tiningnan mo yung corporation documents ng several corporations, nag-i-interlock yung mga director, sila-sila rin. And of course, nile-layer para hindi ma-identify. And this is a practice being committed by, mga unscrupulous corporations that deal with the government, particularly mga flood control projects.
Yeah, Mr. President, your guess is as good as mine also. Hindi ko nga alam kung paano nabubuo itong Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board. Kasi in 2023, the Bulacan River Project amounted to 96.4 million was deemed